mentioned that, that tailoring your resume according to the company's need is not scamming them, because that's so true. Like here at Skill Sapiens, we help students with the resumes as well, because most of them are not aware about the fact that, that how these keywords are picked by the softwares they have, it's something that no, not many, like being an MBA student we are familiar about it, but some students, like some people from a different diverse background, they aren't familiar with this fact. So that's why at Skill Sapiens we have these resume building classes where they build your resume, and highlighting the keywords is the game actually. That will set you apart from the
Mhm.
crowd, so that's a very important aspect. Hello everyone, this is Shirja Bedi. I'm your host for today. This podcast is hosted by Skilled Sapiens, and today we have with us Devika Raj. She works as an analyst at KPMG Global Services. So, welcome on board, Devika. We are very happy to have you with us.
Hi, all, whoever might be watching this. I am Devika Raaj Gupta, as she said, and I'm currently working as an analyst at KPMG Global Services in domain of knowledge management and global L&D or whatever you call it. It's different for every company, every domain. And yeah, I graduated from GS and Mary College last year in BSc Mathematics Honors, and I was also the president for my department of mathematics. I to tell you a little about my background. For me, the sky was never the limit. Um, I have had experience in marketing, management, research, business development, content writing, graphic designing, and multiple other things. I like public speaking a lot and using my creativity wherever I can. So I've done around 10 to 12 internships, four places I have volunteered at, and I have also participated in 20 plus competitions, one at 7, 8 competitions. Um, I've also joined a lot of societies in my college life and held leadership positions and worked in teams in different environments and with people from all over the country. Um, yeah, that's a little about me. To tell you a little on my placement journey that I've had, um, that was that started, I would say, a year and a half ago when I first sat for the first company that came to my college, and I interviewed for them for risk consulting. That was PwC, and I got in because of the very strong connection that I had built and who helped me prepare. So there were multiple rounds of interviews and tests, which I'll give details about later, like just to help you guys know what are the skills and everything that
Yes,
helped
yes.
me. So I cracked in campus placement, and I also cracked off campus placement, which I feel is an achievement in a year. Being able to
Definitely.
do that when your college has one student, one offer letter, so you feel left out on life changing opportunities, right? Uh,
Definitely.
so that's why I went off campus and tried to look for better opportunities for me that were in my city because I live in Gurgaon, and I feel it's an amazing city and with amazing opportunities and uh, corporate hub that is there.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's a little uh, on my journey, which had a lot of efforts that were put in it at different places. But
Definitely.
yes,
So, like now that we know about your background and how it led to your final placement, how did you approach researching and selecting the companies you wanted to apply to? Like you must have a plethora of options, right? So, how did you choose KPMG? Why KPMG?
right. So the thing was that yeah, of course there are definitely many companies out there and everything, but the job market in literal sense was just not
All
there.
over
It
the
just didn't
place.
exist
Definitely.
for us graduates.
Definitely.
Especially people who went for education and had a gap year or whatever. They
Definitely.
know the struggle behind it. There was literally no job openings in the company, our dream companies, and even if there were, they required experience or qualifications and all of those things. So we
Definitely.
as freshers definitely faced a lot of problem there. But how I selected my companies, I just kept my mind open and I kept my options open that, okay, I'm going to apply to
Mm-hmm.
not just big four, big threes, or,
Mm-hmm.
the top companies that are there, but also to startups,
Mm-hmm.
to all the MNCs, and whatever
Definitely.
matlab, their background might be, whatever domain they might be doing, but just to gain
Yeah,
experience, to gain a different perspective, to get that interview experience and crack those small case studies or estimations or whatever that might be.
definitely.
So that is how I had a lot of preferences, I would say. When I had got my in-campus placement, I knew that
Yeah,
um, it's not going to help me in long run, so I had to go off campus and look out. So I had left the in-campus opportunity and I had no job offer in hand.
yeah,
So those 4 months of me going crazy with my LinkedIn connections, with my close friends and everything, that was one thing. So how I selected the companies was that I knew that I wanted it in Gurgaon, and I had all of my
definitely.
options open, like consulting domain, the management
Mm-hmm.
domain, the marketing domain, whatever that might
Mm-hmm.
be. So I made a list of all the companies.
Yeah,
I followed all the pages. I
yeah,
looked for the people who work in those domains that I want to work in, and
yeah.
um, who live in Gurgaon, because I wanted
Okay.
a referral, a connection in the Gurgaon offices, right? I don't want
Yes,
that, okay,
yes.
I'm getting in Bangalore, I'm connecting to someone in Bangalore and he could refer me and send my profile forward in Bangalore
Definitely.
office. That would not help
Definitely.
me. I already had a job
Definitely.
offer of a different city. So
Definitely.
that was certain preferences. So as I said, that you should have limitations to a certain extent, but not like, oh, I'll just interview for the big companies and the top
Mm-hmm.
ones. You should be open to the experience that you'll get, and later on,
Mm-hmm.
shortlist which one you want to go for.
Definitely.
So that would
Like
be my
it's
preference. Yeah,
okay. It's always important to have, multiple options at your disposal because we never know which
exactly,
option might work out, right? So I know a lot of
exactly,
people like who are working for, MNCs, like known, renowned MNCs and all, and they never thought they could get that. It was just an option for them. They just applied. So, for all the freshers out there who are like searching openly for, jobs and all, you should always apply everywhere. That's like my suggestion. Apply like apply everywhere, every opportunity you get. And the thing that you mentioned about LinkedIn, following and, trying to get referrals and all. I don't know if like most of our viewers are available about this fact, but referrals are not just for us. They help the employee as well. So,
employees
like,
as well.
they are
Yes,
not doing us a favor. They just like us see when they're just, recommending us. So be
right.
open. Don't hesitate in reaching out to people. That's a very important aspect. And I guess that helped you a lot, like, to getting you placed at KPMG, right?
Absolutely, and not depending upon your parents or your relatives or your friends only, that okay, they could help you out.
Definitely.
They are in good companies or in good placements, so they'll be able to help out. No, just stop having expectations from your friends or your families.
Definitely.
Go to strangers. Strangers can help you better than your friends probably at times. So
Right.
that is very
Yeah.
important, right, to keep in mind, to
And as
just not
they
have that ego and reach out to everyone.
definitely, definitely. And as Devika mentioned, she did a huge number of internships. Even that will get you a long way. So, be mindful of that as well. I feel like, internships give us the experience. And we know when someone is choosing our resume from the horde of resumes they get, you have to stand out in some aspect or the other. So I feel like this is also a huge, factor that led you to your PPO, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Exploring your options and gaining diverse skill set through those internships, volunteering, even if you did it for free or whatever that might be,
Mm-hmm.
it helps you a lot to build your profile, to build your tools, knowledge, and a lot of technical skills, etc.
See, definitely. Okay, so now, like speaking of resume, what strategies did you use to tailor your resume and cover letter for different job opportunities? Like, because as
So
we know that,
this is
no, no, continue,
right,
continue.
right. Yes. So as you said, this is literally the most important and the very first step that you do. Tailor your
Mm-hmm.
resume, tailor your cover letter. I
Definitely.
don't believe I don't give much importance to cover
Mm-hmm.
letter, but your resume or CV, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
might call it, be it one page, be it two page, but
Mm-hmm.
depending upon your experience, that is
Mm-hmm.
very important. Knowing
Okay.
yourself and putting your profile in the best possible
Okay.
way on your resume with all the
Okay.
keywords that are there, all your achievements,
Mhm.
extracurricular experience that you have, work experience, internship
Mhm.
experience, your skills, your technical or soft skills, whatever that they might
Mhm.
be, your education qualifications, your
Mhm.
about me, and your basic details that are there, like your
Mhm.
master's degree or your full name
Definitely.
and your email ID and contact number and LinkedIn ID, whatever. So having your
Mhm.
resume and your LinkedIn very much
Mhm.
optimized in a way that it covers that the ATS that we know about. So your keywords matter a lot in your resume. Like what I
Definitely.
did, I went along like 10, 15 job roles that I had interest in
Mhm.
of different companies. I opened them up and I saw that these were the keywords that were repetitive, and these were the
Mhm.
most important skills, or like the
Mhm.
uh, or I would say the
Excuse me.
the things that they needed, that the requirements
Excuse me.
that were there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. So there
Thank
were certain
you.
requirements or skills that were required,
Mhm.
and I had transferred all of that in my resume, and I didn't
Okay.
lie about anything. I didn't fake
Yes.
anything. I had the experience and everything, but
Yeah, yeah.
knowing the right keywords and putting them in your profile, using the right
Mhm.
content is very important
Definitely.
for your resume.
Okay.
You don't have to match your profile 100% with the job role that you're applying to. No, that
Mhm.
is not required. Even if it matches to 40 or 70% or
Mhm.
50%, that's more than enough. That is all the
Okay.
company needs for you to be selected for the interview round. So that is very important. Like I had interviewed for a
Mhm.
lot of companies that are there, the big four,
Mhm.
big threes, and
Mhm.
then other companies are there, Genpat, Gartner, or
Okay.
etc. So, like what I could understand was my profile was getting shortlisted almost everywhere that I was applying to,
Mhm.
and but there are a lot of other things also that comes into place for your selection. So
Okay.
I'll go to that later.
Okay. Okay.
But what's more important is being selected first of all, right, for the interview, right? So
Definitely.
interview round, so you can portray yourself, you can impress with your communication or your experience that you have.
Mhm.
So yeah, the keywords matter. What words like managed, teamwork,
Mhm.
having all of those, I would say, analytical things also, like 200 plus pages you managed, or 200 plus
Definitely.
content pieces you made, or
Definitely.
a team of 150 people you manage. So mention all of those. If you have done that, then have
Okay.
those quantifications mentioned in your resume.
Mhm.
So that is very important,
Mhm.
one thing. And not like I had a lot of experience. I had done a lot of
Mhm.
internships, volunteering,
Internships.
that had
Yes.
that were quite repetitive also. Okay, I have
Mhm.
done like 5 internships or 3 places I have worked as a content writer, so I don't have to
Mhm.
mention all of those things. So you have to be very mindful of what are the things that you put in. You don't
Mhm.
have to put in too much of your what you did in school. Only the things
Definitely.
that are you know uh, showing that okay, you have that extracurricular sense of uh, you wish to go that extra mile, to
Mhm.
achieve what you want to. So that should
Mhm.
be showcased in your resume. That should give the brief of who you are as a person. I
Definitely.
think that those are the things
Mhm.
that one can keep in mind.
I need you mentioned that, that tailoring your resume according to the company's need is not scamming them, because that's so true. Like here at Skill Sapiens, we help students with the resumes as well, because most of them are not aware about the fact that, that how these keywords are picked by the softwares they have, it's something that, no, not many, like being an MBA student, we are familiar about it. But, some students, like some people from, a different diverse background, they aren't familiar with this fact. So that's why, at Skill Sapiens, we have these resume building classes where, they build your resume, and highlighting the keywords is the game actually, that will set you apart from the
Mhm.
crowd. So that's a very important aspect. So thank you for
The
pointing it out.
there were two more things that this reminds me of. The
Yes, yes,
formatting, it shouldn't be too word
yes,
heavy.
yes,
Also, your resume doesn't have to have like
definitely.
okay, uh, this much space
Mm-hmm.
left only, or too much of
Mm-hmm.
tables that are there.
Mm-hmm.
There should be gaps and everything. There shouldn't be too many repetitive words also. Like if you
Definitely,
have
yeah.
done social media a lot, then you have mentioned it
Yes,
at
yes,
6 different places or 8 different places.
definitely.
That is not required. And
Definitely.
having the sentences very being very mindful of the sentences. Like I
Mm-hmm.
worked at Skilled Sapien, I managed teams, I had cross functional managements, I
Definitely.
gained skills, I you know those words are very important. You can use chat gpt, it's the best platform. You
Definitely.
just put in the prompts and you get such a good sentences out of it, and you can cut them
Mm-hmm.
short and personalized, of course.
See, this is actually a very useful tip. One should not be hesitant about using AI apps because that's the
Absolutely.
new way of life. I feel like everything is changing. You have to follow the change. And as you mentioned, you did multiple internships and you about the resume not being like content heavy. Like it should not be too wordy actually. You should just point out your main skills and just use the keywords
Yeah.
that will bring you a long way. So thank you for pointing it out. And again, like, okay, so next question. What role, like we talked about networking, being a huge part of you getting your PPO, right? So can you, talk more about it? What role did networking play in your placement journey per se?
Right. So there are two aspects of it that I would like to discuss. One is how my close connection helped me out, and the other is how the
Okay,
LinkedIn community helped me out. Okay.
okay.
So the first I like to cover, and I like to thank all of my, the friends and the close connections that I had gained throughout my internships journey. All of
Definitely. Yeah.
there are friends and there are close connections that I have gained
Mm-hmm.
during those internships, those remote internships, because we used to work with people of in different countries, someone from Madhya Pradesh or Bangalore or Hyderabad or
Definitely.
Mumbai. So
Definitely.
those people are now working at companies like Citibank, Goldman Sachs, and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and they helped me prepare for my interviews. They helped me do a mock interview with them. Answer certain
Okay.
questions, which are the basic of the questions, like tell me about
Mm-hmm.
yourself, your skill, your strengths, and your
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses. Why this
Mm-hmm.
job role? Why this company?
Mm-hmm.
So like you may never know how to answer those questions, those basic of the
Definitely.
questions, what the
Yes, yes.
interviewer is looking for. So they
Mm-hmm.
from scratch they helped me cover every bit, the case studies, the estimations,
Mm-hmm.
what all resources I can refer to, how
Mm-hmm.
I should communicate. So that
Okay.
helped me a lot. My close connections helped me a lot, that I
Okay.
had
Okay.
built throughout my own journey in college life. And the
Okay.
second part, when I had in those 4 or 5 months wherein I was
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn and I was connecting with every person from different companies, from different domains.
Yes,
So,
yes.
how LinkedIn or referral thing works, I'll tell you basic analytics of this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
uh, if you are messaging supposedly 100 people, all right,
Okay.
and only 50% will reply to you first off. Okay, only
Okay.
40% would reply to you roughly, and
Okay.
out of that 20% will give you referrals, all right, because
Okay.
they'll see that they'll give you that attention and get back to you, and they will give you referrals. And
Mm-hmm.
then 10 companies revert to you, right, because there are a lot of people applying to companies and
Definitely.
in the same roles, and
Mm-hmm.
with the job market like that. So
Mm-hmm.
only 10% companies reply to you, and there are 5% chances you get
Definitely.
into the interview and you know ace it
Mm-hmm.
and all that, and there are 2% chances you getting a offer letter in hand.
Okay. Okay.
So this is how it works. So you have to go
Works.
all out with your messaging skills, your communication skills, your
Mm-hmm.
extrovertness. You have to build that. You have to build that networking skills. You have to communicate in
Yes.
a very sophisticated and a humble, sincere way,
Mm-hmm.
and reach out and not be like very direct also. But
Mm-hmm.
also you don't need to have like too much of networking. Like I don't have to know a person entirely inside out to ask for referral, right? So I don't have to chat with
Definitely.
them ki, hi, how are you, how is work at here, and this and that. They don't have that much
Yes.
time. Just be direct with your message. Just let them know your profile and how you're looking for opportunities in these domains, and
Okay.
give them the job IDs that you want to apply at, and whatever information you think is required. Then they would get back to you, ask you for your details or whatever.
Okay.
So that is how you have to reach out to your network, the
Okay.
connections that you build. Have a lot of patience and put in the efforts. That is the
Okay.
main thing I think that I
Okay.
learned in those 4 or 5 months of me doing job hunt and interviewing for different companies.
Mhm. So, you did mention, right, that you reached out to multiple people on LinkedIn and then follow, like for the roles that you wanted, and then you reached out to them. Can you go into more details about this procedure? Like, how can our viewers search for these people and how to, go through the entire process step by step? That will be helpful. Because
Absolutely.
according to me,
So
like a lot of people don't know how to use LinkedIn, properly use LinkedIn, take, gain, like, reap the benefits from LinkedIn. They just know it's an app. You have to network with people. They don't know the, how the thing actually works. So your
absolutely.
insights will be very helpful.
Yes. So, as I said, that make a list of all the companies that you wish to apply on. All right, be it startups, be it MNC, be it the big ones and top ones, be it the tech ones or whatever. Make a list
Mm-hmm.
of all the companies that are there in your city and which you wish to, work for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Um, then go on each of those pages, their job
Mm-hmm.
portals. Look for the
Mm-hmm.
job IDs that are there related to your
Okay.
domain. That requires a lot of
Okay.
searching, and a lot of job portals are not very, user friendly. But you somehow have to
Definitely.
figure it out. All right, you have to have a lot of patience and go and put in the filters and everything. So do
Definitely.
that, and also check the job openings on the LinkedIn page of that company.
Page.
Okay, so there are a lot of openings that might be there, might not be mentioned on the portal or
Mm-hmm.
something, but mostly they are. But just try to look for the different ones and make the list of companies and write down the job IDs in front of them. All right, that these are the
Okay.
job openings right now. Target 5 companies in a day. That okay, I have followed these
Okay.
5 companies. I have sent connection requests to the people working in these
Mm-hmm.
domains, and the domains I have interest in, and in my city. All right,
Mm-hmm.
send the connection request because they will take time to
Reach back to
accept the
you.
request, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So just send the connection request, follow the pages, and in the meantime, search for the job IDs that are there, so
Definitely.
or job openings that are there, and be well versed of the domains that are there. Like in some company, some domain might be named as management, and the other it might be named as something else. So
Okay.
be well, so research about the company well. All right. Then once the connections have accepted, send out. I would say I used to send out around like 20 connection requests in one company, and then out of those 10 people used to accept the request, and I used to message all 10 of them, and then two
Mm-hmm.
to four people used to reply, and one person
Mm-hmm.
used to refer, 1 or 2 person used to refer. So
Mm-hmm.
that is what helped me. I have in total, I would say, probably reached out to more than 3+ people on LinkedIn, and I have cold emailed a lot of other. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very you have to utilize your time very
Definitely.
nicely. So
Definitely.
as I said, so once you have done that, you have to message them that okay, hi, whatever your might name, whatever was the name, hope you're doing well. I was looking for job opportunities in your company, and I have this experience, and I was looking in
Mm-hmm.
these domains. So
Mm-hmm.
I saw your profile, and I thought if you could forward it across to the recruitment teams, and
Mm-hmm.
consider referring me for these positions, give them the job IDs and let them know that thank you in advance, and please let me know if
Mm-hmm.
you require my resume or anything for the
Mm-hmm.
same. And that's it. You just have to make
That's
a very
great.
small direct message, and they'll reply to
Mm-hmm.
you if they want to refer you, and which mostly they do reply. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times people are busy, and even they wouldn't. So
Definitely.
yeah, just make your group, just message more number of people if people are not replying. As simple as that. So I
What
think that is the
I,
procedure I followed. Even
okay,
if
so
you
you know
do this
what?
for 1 week, you will be
Mm-hmm.
able to get a lot of referrals and
Mm-hmm.
apply to a lot of companies. So just
Definitely. What I got from your insight is that firstly, zero ego, reach out to as many as people that's humanly possible. And you should not be embarrassed to, ask for referrals because as we just mentioned that referrals benefit both the parties, right? So that as well. And, just go all out and just like you should
but
exploit LinkedIn, to be honest.
yeah, but one more thing about this, that
Mm-hmm.
when you're reaching out to people, make sure that they have certain kind of experience in that company. Like if they have just
Mm-hmm.
joined, they'll be settling in. They might not be able to refer you.
Definitely.
see that if they have, it would be better, I would say, if they have 1 or 2 years of experience. And even if they have just
Okay.
joined, those people can also help you a lot because they have direct contacts of HR or whatever. So
Okay.
that also helps a lot at times, I've seen. And
Okay.
and just don't message profiles that have like 90 followers or 10 followers. Of course those are
Definitely.
fake, and you don't know if there is a
Definitely.
real person behind it or if it's even working. So just be very
Okay.
mindful of who you connect, because ultimately it's
Okay.
going to add to your LinkedIn connection and stay there forever. So you have to make a
Definitely.
meaningful connection also there.
Definitely. This is something we should be very mindful about. Thank you for pointing it out. Also, how did you handle rejections or setbacks during your placement process?
So I still get emails of rejections to the roles that I had applied to, because there were multiple roles that I applied to
Okay.
in those months. So and people, and companies take a lot of time to send the rejection emails or accepting or whatever.
Definitely.
So you have to have a lot of patience. So I think being optimistic and having a lot of patience is very
Mm-hmm.
important, like throughout those rejection emails and everything.
Okay.
Apart from that, how I motivated myself to keep going. But like there were a lot of people around me who said that off campus is very tough, and if
Mm-hmm.
you get in an off campus placement, मैं मान जाऊंगी तुझे,
Mm-hmm.
ये वो चीजें.
Oh
I
my
used to hear
God.
my parents, my
Yeah.
friends used to say that it's very difficult and you don't get
Yeah.
into, you just focus on your masters and go for study and all of those things. But I knew that I have built such a strong profile, and if I can't get an opportunity and offer off campus, then who else? Like, I mean, I'm ready to put in the efforts. I'm ready to
Mm-hmm.
optimize my profile, learn more tools if that is required. So
Mm-hmm.
having that optimistic mind and not giving up is very important.
Definitely.
um, if you give 10 interviews, you will definitely have 9 rejections. Of that is a matter of fact. So you
Definitely.
just need to ace one of them, right?
Definitely.
So
I love
yeah, I
your
mean, if
optimism and your confidence in yourself. I love the fact that you're so confident about yourself. If not me, then who? Like, that's so, like, I love that. People are so, insecure about their qualities, but I love the fact that I guess you mentioned that you were very extracurricular wise active. So that shows
yeah,
actually. I'm pretty sure you must be in the debating society as well, right?
I,
See,
I wasn't. I'm very bad at arguing. I must say, people can say
oh,
anything to me, and I wouldn't say anything bad. But what I mean to say by that, having a humble attitude and having patience is very
definitely.
important. And I think somehow my extroverted skills, being a social butterfly, helped me a lot. Not
Definitely.
everyone is like that, so you can't expect that from
Mm,
everyone. But
definitely.
yeah, I mean, I know that I can create opportunities for myself if I'm not limiting myself to certain things, right? I'm not having
Definitely.
limitations, too many limitations, that okay, you know
Hmm.
and I had other options open for me as well. Like I was studying alongside also, that in case this doesn't
Definitely.
work out and I'm not able to get a job,
Hmm.
so that is that. And
Hmm.
one should never belittle yourself. Like, there are 100,000 people out there that could take out certain weaknesses of yours or something. But why
Definitely.
should you belittle yourself and be like, okay, I can't get this or I
Definitely.
can't get that? So I
Definitely.
think that is very important. Being multi talented, I think, helped me a lot, because I was like, I can do anything. You give me whatever domain you put me in, I think I would be able to do well with it. So
Mm.
yeah, if you have that profile that you think that okay, you should go all out with,
Mm.
then you should not, you should have that confidence in you.
Definitely. So, can you share a memorable experience or, challenging experience from your final placement journey? Something that stands out.
Right. So as I said, that creating, sometimes you have to have your options opened, and not
Mm-hmm.
belittle yourself, or the role that you're applying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an experience wherein I was interviewing for a contractual role, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, they liked my profile so much, and they were so impressed with it that they interviewed me for a
Mm-hmm.
full-time role. Like, they started
Okay.
considering me for a number of other roles as well, that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think that was possible, because a lot of companies simply reject you if you're not fitting for the role, or if you
Definitely.
are too
Yeah.
much for the role, if you are too qualified, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that whatever might be the reason. But that was, I was just stunned by it, that how much a company could value you, and could see your potential. So that is why I always keep saying that, don't be afraid of putting in efforts and just going all out with your
Definitely.
hard work that is there. There is no
Definitely.
struggle for me. If you There was no struggle for me because I had all my resources. I had all of my support that was required.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about putting in the efforts at the right
Okay.
place, with the right
Okay.
knowledge, and with the right,
Mhm.
connections and all of those things.
Okay. So finally, like this is the final question. Do you have any insights, tips for our future, future graduates who are about to, get into this, job searching journey? So what are your tips for them?
Right. So, what I think is that, having knowing about yourself is very important. That is how you build your confidence, right? If you know your tools, you know
Definitely.
your technical skills, you know your strengths and
Definitely.
weaknesses, you know
Definitely.
what stands out in your profile, what is unique and what is not there,
Hmm.
and not giving up on anything. And yeah, I think that is very important, of knowing yourself fully, and building upon your estimation skills, your case studies, being well versed with
Hmm.
different domains and different tools that you could
Hmm.
do.
Okay.
And another most important tip is that, helping out whoever you can, like being a support system,
Definitely.
creating a support system for not just for yourself but others as
Hmm.
well. And
Hmm.
like throughout my job search journey, I think I
Hmm.
mentored and I helped and I supported a
Hmm.
lot of people, a lot of my connections and strangers with
Okay.
their job hunting
Okay.
experience and journey. So helping out with whatever resources that you have is also very important, because what
Hmm.
goes around comes around. I really believe in that.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
building up your communication skills is also very important,
Okay.
because ultimately that is the only thing that you're going to use to impress
Definitely.
the interviewer, right? How you portray
Definitely.
yourself and everything. So
Mm.
yeah, uh,
That's
just I think that is all I could give in. I think I have been very raw
yes,
throughout the
definitely.
podcast.
It's a good
I might get in
thing,
trouble for a lot of things.
No, no, no. I love your honesty. This was so helpful for me as well because I'm a second year MBA student. I'll be graduating
Okay.
next year. So, it was helpful for me as well. So, thank you so much for that. And that's a wrap for today, folks. I hope you found today's podcast enlightening. A big thank you to you, Devika, for being an incredible guest. And your insights actually helped me and will help a lot of our viewers as well. To all our listeners, your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Thank you.